This is the Becoming Your Future Self Masterclass. This masterclass is going to change your life. We are going to bridge the gap between who you are now and who you want to be in the future. We are going to look at strategies and techniques to take you from where you are to where you want to be. Wouldn't it be awesome to find all of your work taken care of? To come home and find your house organized. Dinner is already made and on the table. All of your work taken care of, all of the chores done. Wouldn't that be amazing? Just think about it. Not only will the work already be done, you don't have to put in the effort. You also won't have to stress about doing it. You won't have to add it to your schedule. How different is that from the life you live now? You don't come home to a clean, organized house. Instead, you have mountains of work waiting for you. You get to work and you have tens of items on your to-do list. There's no way you're going to get all of that done today. You do as much as you can, you're tired, you go home, and you find laundry scattered all over the apartment. The place hasn't been swept in weeks. And you realize this is the consequence of living for your present self. You can't throw the blame on anyone else. You did this to yourself. Who put the laundry on the floor? Who put off yesterday's tasks until today because you thought you'd be able to do it? It was you. And you did it because your present self didn't want to do it. You told yourself your future self would do it because we think our future selves will be able to take care of it. Who is your future self? We think our future self is superhuman. We think they'll be able to take care of everything we hand over to them. We believe deep down in us that our future self, the person who's not us today, maybe the person we are tomorrow, will be able to get us to where we want to be in life. They're more organized, they know what to do and when to do and how to do it. They're more knowledgeable and less stressed. They have more time and more energy. We have this belief that our future selves will be able to handle anything we throw at them. They'll be able to do everything we don't want to do right now. So this is you, the present you, carrying a box which represents the things that you don't want to do. Being the person you are, you make an excuse or convince yourself that you'll be able to do this task later. You hand this box over to the future you. Now the future you has tasks of their own. It'll be a new day with a new to-do list. New challenges will have arisen. So your future self already has boxes of their own. They already have things that they have to do. But you pass your box over to your future self, adding to their workload. And this is a problem because your future self's workload was supposed to look like this. But now you have to add to that all of the tasks that your present self didn't want to do. So your future self's workload actually looks like this. This is a lot of tasks for anyone to do. But again, we have this belief that our future self can do everything. The problem is, your future self is just the present you later. So of course, the cycle will repeat. You'll have a task you don't want to do. You'll hand it over to the future you, and your future self will just hand it over to the next future self. You do this over and over and over again. It might not be with the same task, but you continuously give your future self more things to do. Now you thought your future self would have more time, energy, and discipline? And that could have been possible. Your future self could have more time, energy, and discipline. They could be living the best life. Except you've made life harder. You procrastinated. So there's more work to do, and you still don't want to do it. Here are just a few examples of how you sabotage your future self. You say you'll work on your side hustle later when you find the right idea. You say you'll start exercising next week, but today you have another cheeseburger. Now I get it. These are big tasks. You do want to find the right side hustle idea in order to start. Exercising is not easy, and sticking to a diet is not easy. So you do want to choose the correct start date. And since you're not starting now, why not enjoy the time you have left? But you sabotage your future self in smaller ways too. You throw papers on your desk, telling yourself you'll organize them later. Throwing papers on your desk isn't a big deal. You can get to it later. But the truth is, instead of spending 5 minutes now organizing your desk, you opted to spend 20 to 30 minutes later going through all of the papers you threw on your desk. You may even end up late for a meeting because you can't find the papers you need. You'll also scroll through social media now because you'll have time to read the book later. You tell yourself you'll do X now because you'll Y later, over and over and over again throughout the day. Not knowing that each time you do this, it gets harder to start the task. You know what your future self should look like, but your present self hasn't been able to get there. Your present self isn't set up to become the image you have in mind, nor is your everyday life taking you in that direction. In fact, all of your attempts to become your future self are cut off by reality. You just have too much to do. You don't have enough time. When you take action, you're not getting the results you want. Instead of living your perfect life, you're stressed and overwhelmed by everything on your plate. We think our future selves will solve our problems, do our work, build better habits, and achieve our goals. But we make life difficult. We overwhelm our future selves with tasks to do and problems to solve. And we don't train our present selves to become the future selves we want to be. And this is what the Becoming Your Future Self Masterclass will change. Your future self is a continuation of your present self. And your present self is not setting you up to become the future self you want to be. In this masterclass, you will bridge the gap between the two, between who you are now and who you want to be in the future. This masterclass will help you become the future you. To be more specific, here's what you will get from this masterclass. First, a life change. This masterclass will change your life, but only if you take action. I can give you the information. I can tell you, do 1, 2, and 3, and you will become your future self. But I can't take the steps for you. You won't get the most from this masterclass if you don't take action and take the steps that I present to you. You will not gain the most from this masterclass if you do not act on the knowledge you gain. With this masterclass, you'll get a workbook with activities and thought exercises. We will go through this workbook together. Don't skip over it. These exercises are designed to help you become the future you. They will prepare you with the knowledge you need to take the first steps. Finally, the recommended resources. At the end of this masterclass, I will recommend a few tools that will help you throughout your journey. You can become your future self without these tools, but they will help you take that extra step. They will make your journey easier. If that sounds good, it is time to get started. It is time to take the first step to becoming your future self. We are going to start by getting to know your future self. Socrates said, "To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom." So that will be our beginning too. Trying to become your future self without knowing who that future self is like shooting an arrow in the dark. You build a few habits you found on a list online and hope that you end up being the greatest version of yourself. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. There's no guesswork involved in becoming your future self. You can never become the person that you want to be if you don't have a clear idea of who that person is. What are their characteristics and traits? What kind of life do they live? These are all questions we need answers to. Specifically, we're going to look at 4 layers of your future self. The most superficial is what your life looks like from an outsider's perspective. This is as deep as some people go when thinking of their future life. They think about the house they want to live in and the car they want to own, what their family looks like in a portrait picture. They think of all of the materialistic things of life. If you have this idea, then that's terrific. You've already got it through the first layer. But we're going to go a bit deeper. The second layer is the activities you do, your job, and your hobbies. In my You Improved course, I talk about how what you do becomes who you are. It influences your self-image. So even though this is still one of the superficial layers of your future self, it is still very important. Going a bit deeper, we'll look at your lifestyle and habits, your relationships, and your personal life. Taking a look at your lifestyle and habits will help you uncover what you're aiming for and how you're striving for the next level. Thinking about your relationships and your personal life will help you gain insight into who you choose to surround yourself with and the impact you want the people in your life to have on you. The deepest layer is your life satisfaction, emotions, and spirituality. I know as soon as I say spirituality, you'll think religion. But spirituality doesn't have to be about religion. It's your connection to the world around you and how you fit in it. With these 4 layers in mind, we're going to get to know your future self. We're going to find the answers to questions like, what kind of life does your future self live? What are their goals, hopes, and aspirations? What do they like? How do they spend their time? It is time for the first exercise in this masterclass. We're going to dissect your future self and understand the essence of who you want to be. If you need more time, just hit pause. Knowing the answers to these questions is critical to becoming your future self. Once you're satisfied with your answers, it's time to move on to bridging the gap.